Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. We are getting ready. We were supposed to take a break, and then suddenly we heard that it's time for Blysk versus Vindicta, upper bracket semi-final. And Jess and I both looked at each other like, that's a fun one. We kind of want to guess this one. So we are here for at least one more series. And at this point, it's also going to be a best of 5, unless I am mistaken.
Yeah, correct.
Good. At least I got something right today.
Well done. And starting off the best of 5, it's going to be Ephemeron in the bottom right as the green Protoss. He is Blysk.
Come on, Blysk.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah.
On the left top side, we're looking at one of the top favorites for this entire tournament. He has looked sick. He has been sick this entire event. He's been having a lot of fun. This cheeky young man from San Diego, California. It is Vindicta.
I really feel like he's kind of made himself at home now. Like he's really getting into the vibe of things over here. And I think he's really enjoying himself. Every time I talk to him, he's so positive and so happy that he's in Australia and just doing everything.
You know what I love as well is that the first day he comes in and he's a little bit quiet. Even though he knows me, you know, and we get along well. He hangs out on his stream often. I visit his stream whenever he's active. But then the first day, they're still always a little bit shy, right? And then he grabs himself a cheeky beer and he's having a good time. And then at one point, he suddenly walks up and he's like, "What? Why are you such a hater, man?" And I was like, "I'm not doing anything." He's like, "You." I was like, "Mate, what are you up to right now?" Anyway, it's really good to see the young kids having a lot of fun here in Australia. Obviously, you can see Vindicta respecting that quick double gas opening for, well, going with that command center on the high ground. A very safe opening.
It's like be a little scary, but you can tell by the second supply depot that they actually went for a third command center, natural command center, I believe. Because he actually didn't get back and see the gases, you know, and some weird world, there's actually like a proxy factory going down, but yeah, no, just playing it safe. He did get the scout. Blysk knew he got the scout. Blysk was talking to us earlier, actually, on the couch about this build order opening against, oh shoot, he played him. We didn't see it on stream, but he played him, and we just cast him.
Azure.
Thank you very much, Azure. I was like,
I didn't want to cut you off. I was like, you've got this.
No, I didn't have that. No, I didn't. Anyways, yeah, he opened exactly like this, and then there was actually an engineering bay response, so on and so forth. Not going to be the response here, but that high ground command center makes it kind of hard for this adept to do anything.
Yep, but obviously the fact that Vindicta built his command center in the main base, that means that his economy is going to take off a little bit slower as well. You have to fly it over, and then you cannot produce any SCVs. So this does definitely have an impact on your economy as a Terran player. You need to make sure that you're aware of that as well, that you don't expect to have the same amount of money as you would have with a return fast expand on the low ground, because things just kick in a little bit later. Vindicta doesn't know about the Stargate yet, right?
Oh jeez. Well, now he does.
Oh, now he does. So that's obviously very big, and I think if he was paying attention, and he could probably still zoom the camera a little bit as well, you can also see that this is a Phoenix. Phoenix are very easy to recognize in those Stargates because they have a pointy tail, and nothing else really has a pointy tail other than a void ray, but the void ray is fat, and nobody would ever build a void ray, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's a good tip. Just look at the tail. Look
at
that. All right. Well, he's going to be following up with the actually a common response we've seen from Terrans if they get that early scout at least, which has been denied in some games. This one not denied, barely getting the tail end of that Stargate, tail end of the Phoenix, yeah. And it's going to be the Viking Cyclone 2, I believe, is what people have been doing.
Yep, 2 in each. Okay, couple of adepts might get a little feisty here. I actually would love to see him lift the Cyclone, right? Well, this is a good fight. Lift the Cyclone, mate. Lift the Cyclone.
Yeah, he's getting on top of it now.
Wow, this is a good start by Blysk. I am actually very impressed. This is going to hurt, man. I would go for a couple of SCVs here, and naturally we could lift that bike. No, he's going to go for the Cyclone instead. Can he get the kill? It's so close. Oh, my goodness. He does not get the kill, but he's already getting quite some damage. Okay, now he might get the kill, because one more Phoenix shows up. The SCVs were a bit out of position. Nope, the mass repair is going to save the day. Wow, great crisis management again by Vindicta. This could have been so bad, by the way.
That would have changed the entire dynamic of this right now. He would have lost his natural. I mean, if he has no position on the map, then Phoenix is just going to keep swooping in and applying pressure. So not a bad opening here from this.
Yeah, I still like it, actually. Like, all things, like, this could have been a lot better. But that was honestly just good. Oh, we don't mind, mate.
Target fire.
Yeah, Vindicta will always get that. He really hates that Cyclone. And he does finally get the Cyclone. I actually wouldn't mind if he comes back in right now and kills that mine. I think it's so nice. He has energy. Like, go in with that full HP Phoenix on the right side. Send that one in first, lift that mine, sweep around, get out of there. You might take some damage, but you'll get the mine kill, and that's awesome.
He doesn't seem to be wanting to do it. That was pretty nice. I mean, Vindicta being a little bit just greedy with the non-bunker, perhaps not expecting an attack like that. That attack pairs up with an Oracle sometimes. but obviously not an Oracle opener. And the Phoenix added that extra little bit of potential for lifting all those important units, which they absolutely did.
I gotta say, Blysk has really cool builds, right? Because I'm glad I didn't, but I was about to go on this little rant where it's like, okay, if your opponent has like Cyclone Viking, you probably just shouldn't do anything with your Phoenix. Just build a lot of probes, stay at home, because you can't really get much done. But because he opened in the way he did, with that quicker gas, he had everything so quick. And yeah, the 3 adepts with the Phoenixes, they actually work together very well. This is not something that I see a lot of people do. It's not that common. Like, I know the one that you're talking about, where it's like 3 Oracle and then it's like 5 adepts. Showtime loves that stuff. I think I've seen Neep do it a couple of times as well. I am not that familiar with this variant from Blysk, but I love it, man. That actually looks so cool.
Well, with the Immortal being thrown in as a bit of an anchor.
Yeah, I think okay. Does he have a Roboway? It's almost done.
Almost.
1 Colossus is very important here. These Phoenixes need to buy a little bit of time. Fire up your Colossus immediately and Chrono boost it. It's super important for the non-stop Chrono right now on that Robo.
Yeah, which is exactly what he's doing. He's going to have that +1 armor eventually, but certainly just get the unit out. Shield battery's even coming down here. It's going to provide a bit of an awkward choke, but I think he's going to be okay. It's not the biggest army.
Oh, kills the Viking. That's very nice. Does a lot of damage on the medevac. I actually think you can start going. Like, I know that Stim is scary here, but the Marine count isn't that high. And you've got Guardian Shield, mate. Guardian Shield gets activated. Good Force Field gets 2 Marines immediately. Blysk is playing excellent.
Yeah, that's a very good start. And that Colossus is about to pop out. Maybe even a couple of units from the north side. Or, yeah, actually, it's just going to be enough. Vindicta's going to respect the Protoss army right now and pull back and just go into the extra 2 barracks.
I think because he lost a lot of those initial Marines, like, if that push happens with, like, 15 Marines, you're like, whoa, if I don't have a Colossus, I really don't want to fight this. But yeah, 7, 8, 9 Marines, sure, they have Stim, but that's just not that scary.
Wouldn't mind got some pretty nice damage on that Immortal. It's probably more so thinking about getting the Phoenix, but still did some damage. And the Phoenix do not catch anything, kind of lagging behind. All these units pretty close to each other in speed. But he's going to have plenty of time to get to 2, even 3 Colossus. Charge will finish up before the next attack.
He has no Thermal Lance, though.
That's a very good point. No Thermal Lance. Usually when you get 2, you actually get the upgrade.
Yeah.
Maybe 1, like you can do the... Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. The fake.
The Archon fake.
Yeah, exactly, but no, is that a mistake? Is that a decision? He's getting a 3rd Colossus. I think he should really get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just
think
hope
in
that
positions like that, though, like I've theorized about it before. If the turn does a push,
Okay.
the Protoss generally wants to do a warping. So sometimes, if the Terran's not being aggressive, you think of it kind of like the TVZ matchup, where you're trying to force units to force them to spend. Otherwise, they're just dumping money into gateways and getting ready for the Terran to come across the map.
Sure. Yeah, I think that might have been why he delayed it in the first place, but he should definitely be getting it now.
Did you guys see that little exchange? Like, the Phoenixes were kind of stuck, right? They sniped the medevac, they still get out of there. This is legitimately the first time in this tournament that Vindicta is in trouble in a relatively normal game. Like, I know he got all in by Chase, and I know he lost that first game against Crimson, but because we were talking about how awesome Australia was, we kind of missed the fact that he wanted to proxy 2 racks, and then he was forced to go for a CC first, and maybe his timing just didn't really work out. But Blysk is just straight up playing better so far than Vindicta in this game, and that's the first time I feel like I've seen this all tournament long for Vindicta. And that's a scary start. Like, look at this army, man. Like, Vindicta's in so much trouble. If Blysk doesn't... Oh, he has no Thermal Lance, so...
Exactly, yeah, that's so weird. Like, I think he absolutely should have had it. The Marine did scout this coming. Vindicta knows it's on the way. There's not much else he can do, and I'm actually surprised before Sunset Tower.
Alright, I think what you do here is you pop Guardian Shield, you send like the Immortal first to soak up a shot, and then the Phoenix come in like 1 second later. Don't send the Phoenixes ahead of the army, 1 second behind, then you lift all the tanks and you just keep shooting and go forward. No second guessing yourself here, Blysk. You gotta go. If you want to do this, you gotta do it properly. You gotta move forward and shoot. You gotta move forward and shoot. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. And I kind of like this fight so far. Just a single tank remain. The force fields are absolutely fantastic. The Colossus focus fire is good. And I think that Blysk is doing it.
Yeah, it's very, very close. More charges have to come in here. And the 1 tank still alive, surprisingly. He's even trying to be last minute repaired.
Sick.
Not going to work out, but Blysk is going to be taking this game, especially with the War Prism still alive.
That's absolutely perfect. The way he did that is exactly the way that I wanted him to do it. And even in the midst of that battle, he was still getting really good swipes off with those Colossus, right? They weren't shooting at random stuff. GG gets called, and Blysk with a flawless first game here. Damn! Singaporean StarCraft showing up over here.
I think we have a series on our hands, guys.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you're right, though. That was just a really good play from Blysk, especially highlighted with that medevac thing, man. The fact that he was cornered with Phoenix, and then medevac's the thing that went down, a fully healthy medevac, that's not supposed to happen. Vindicta's still warming up, I guess.
I'm going to say, though, like, as a Terran, when you see a build like that, it's really frustrating because you understand that the Phoenix really control the first, like, 6 minutes of the game. You either move out and you can catch them, or you move out and they just like do exactly what Blysk did, and they just pick off stray units, and then you have nothing. There's no power in your army to do anything.
What I love the most, though, is his opening. Like, I'm just not familiar with the 3 Adept and then the 3 Phoenix Rush.
Yeah.
Like, how is this even a thing? I was really gonna, like I said, I was gonna go on this little rant where I was like, oh, you should just be really defensive. You know, you can't get much done against the Cyclone Viking opener. But he hit before the Cyclone Viking opener really was even a thing.
Yep.
And because he was able to kill so many Marines at first, and don't forget a lot of lost mining time, because it may have looked like, oh, only 3 SCVs went down. Was it really that good? Yes, because there's like 10 SCVs not mining, right?
Yeah, the whole natural basically had to get evacuated.
Yeah. And the way that he handled this fight, absolutely perfect. Decisive, no second guessing himself. Love the timing on the Phoenix pickoffs.
Yep.
That force fields mid-battle, by the way, those were perfect as well.
Yep.
Even the Archon was getting good shots off. Since when do Archons get good shots off, right? But
Hardly ever.
yeah, sick.
No.
Really sick.
That was all types of good, but I think that was also a warning to Vindicta to build a bunker, basically. Like, that's kind of where it all started. Like, that Phoenix thing could have been so much worse, so I'm not saying that's, like, exactly what determined the game, but it actually could have been just so easy of having a single bunker. And he was already playing a little bit defensive, and he just decided to skip it. Would have been so helpful. But game number 2 is coming up, guys, on Nightshade. Let's go into it. Let's go into it, production.
No, they like us.
They really like
They
our
like
faces.
Runnamok on the couch. Look at Josh.
They look, yeah, I like his face.
I mean, I do kind of, you know, Josh, I get teased a lot when people are like, hey, Roddy, I really miss the eyebrow rings.
Yeah.
I kind of miss that lip piercing of yours, mate. What happened
Oh,
to that?
mate.
Oh, that's what you had?
Yeah.
Had the
Oh.
snake bites, had the eyebrow pierced.
He was like a little Roddy.
Wow. Is that a compliment?
Absolutely. In my young days, yes, I used to slay.
Of course. Of course. In the bottom right, as the red Terran down 1, but surprisingly, it is Vindicta.
Come on. Terran pride.
You cheered for Blysk
I'm
last
going to
time.
champion the flag. Yeah, look, I love Blysk and all, but at the end of the day, like, secretly wish Terran wins.
Okay, you see a Terran lose, and you're just immediately, your heart goes out to him, and now you're
Yeah.
cheering for him.
Yeah. My condolences to every Terran that's lost to a Protoss.
On the left up side of Nightshade, we're looking at the main base of the only Singaporean representative in this tournament. It is Blysk. What a sick game. That was, I think, the best game I've seen him play all tournament. And I know he had a couple good games so far, but that was perfect. And Vindicta is one hell of a player, okay? Like, you're looking at somebody who's like 6,300 MMR on the North American server. On Europe, Vindicta also can get up really high. He's been successful in a couple of the tournaments. Just a great showing.
This is odd. What do you think about the gateway on the low ground?
Considering he's
Did he go core before Nexus? No, right?
No, Nexus
no.
core.
Okay, then I
he's
just-
got 1 in gas.
This is an... is that a wall up? Like, I guess...
Back here? Yeah. Does it completely wall off the Reaper?
If
wanna
the
play
cyber
Reaper?
core cuts it off as well, I guess you cannot hop underneath that cyber core. So I guess this is just a wall up. I don't know. I have no strong feelings about it. I think if you would have gone core before Nexus, I'd be like, yeah, that's sick, because you can go Stalkers, and the Stalkers will show up so much quicker, but...
Well, I thought he was going to chrono a Zealot out or something like that to apply pressure, but then I seen the Nexus go down.
Oh, he got CSCV killed. What is it
Whoops.
Reaper doing? Yeah, Vindicta is feeling it a little bit, guys. You can see it. The Reaper is misfiring. Losing an SCV is something that's absolutely not supposed to happen. And because of the Scout, he's super paranoid right now, right? Because he's like, all right, like, when is that first unit going to show up? Blysk has cool openings, man. He has really cool openings.
Is the notebook out? We're going to take some of these to ladder.
You know, I am not somebody who ever looks at builds and be like, yeah, that's cool, I want to do that. But that Adept Phoenix thing,
Yeah.
that is something that I would actually really like to do, because that would just switch things up and force really different responses of my Terran opponents.
Yep.
Compared to like my usual, like, I pretty much always open Stalker, because I hate chasing Reapers around and stuff, but the way that he played it with that super quick Phoenix, yeah, I loved it. That gaming, that building game 1, really cool.
Yeah, it inspires a bit of fear because there's more flexibility in the build. Like, you don't
Absolutely.
need to do Stargate.
Well, he does apply the pressure a little bit, double chrono, on the first 2 units and then on that blink, but it doesn't really do very much. The bunker being put down is definitely the safe call for Vindicta. Even some cute micro with that command center. You don't want to delay it too long as an orbital, but he did save the SCV. So he's trying to maybe make up for some of those earlier mistakes with some extra cool micro, but it does go into what seems to be a pretty normal blink follow-up. There's the Robo as well. And even a wall off
It's
against
stuck.
potential Hellions. Yeah, get stuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool just because you put the gateway there, Like, obviously, I can see some scenarios where this doesn't work out, and then you get punished for having that gateway there. But it's also like you already did something weird in game 1. You were very aggressive. It strikes a lot of fear in the heart of Vindicta, right? It's like, oh, okay, what kind of Protoss nonsense is coming my way this time?
Yeah, exactly. It is going to be a Raven. This is a perfect opportunity to do so. Against Phoenix, we've already talked about how risky that can be, but against the Twilight Council, absolutely. Take out an Immortals, anti-armor missile being especially effective, and you should be able to keep this alive.
Yeah.
You know, Vindicta should be used to the Raven acceleration by this point, the speed rather, but there are a couple of cliffs. If Blysk is really present with his Blink Stalkers.
If he would lose the Raven before the first big fight happens, obviously the follow-up here from Blysk should always be Zealot's charge. Like, obviously, letting an anti-armor missile in the middle of a Zealot pack, you know, that's a disaster for Protoss. By the way, he's switching it up because he used to like to go on low gas, 3 bases very quickly.
Right.
I wonder if he goes for the Colossus here.
Yeah,
yes, he does.
Yeah.
So this is something I was literally talking to him about. I was like, I know that it's like weird to do builds that you normally never do. I was like, but you just play the exact same way as you normally would with that gateway spam. But then instead, you stay on 2 bases, you get quicker Colossus, everything else stays the same.
Yep.
I was like, the Colossus is super good against the heavy Marine pushes. He's like, yeah, I really hate those quick stim pushes with Marines. I was like, this for me, I was like, I tried this a couple times against Terrans that beat me with my main style.
Yep.
I was like, let's just try this. I was like, it's super easy to execute. I was like, I actually held and won games against really good Terran players. He's like, thanks, maybe I'll try it.
Wow, I actually thought that he had enough information with that first scan, but he bothers to use the second scan.
A scan like that also doesn't show you anything. He sees a forge, and he already
I think
knows
he saw the Robo Bay
Yeah,
as
let's
well.
check that. Oh, whoa, the bunker's actually going to go down.
Okay, that's scary, but he does have a tank, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's on the high ground. He did see the robotics bay.
Yeah, that's a good scan there. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the War Prism here. Because you're already ahead a base. You kind of know what you're going up against. I don't think there's a need for you right now to think of...
Disruptors?
No. I think he just wants to warp in Zealots in the main base.
Yeah.
I think you should have faith in your army right now, and I think you want to get that Colossus out as quickly as possible. That could have been an Immortal to buy some buffer. Like, this could be sick. Like, that War Prism can pay off in a massive way, but it can also complicate things because you need to focus on your army right now, and a War Prism doesn't really help that.
Yeah, he just had it rallied in, like, this way, and I was like, no.
I think it's purely for a backstab. So the idea is probably to control map with the Blink Stalkers and go, okay, he's going to do a shove, probably with the Raven. When he does that, I'm going to drop into the...
Okay,
wow,
cool.
alright then, now we're here.
We apologize for that, guys. Suddenly our audio wasn't gone. We were still casting. You guys just couldn't hear it for us. This push is sick, but Blysk still has a couple of Colossus remaining. I was a little bit distracted in the middle of that battle because there were all sorts of things happening. Once again, we apologize. Oh, with a binder up. No.
Marauders.
Okay.
None of us were expecting that. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing.
Hey, is that War Prism still alive?
Yeah, I think the War Prism is... No, I'm actually just blind. It died.
Shift out?
Trying to get to units. Yeah, it died.
Okay.
Probably went just stayed while he was trying to micro.
Yeah, you can see that Blysk was tasked to the limit for a little bit there. or push to the limit rather, because he has his observers with his army, so maybe F2 start spreading out those observers, mate. That's what you want to do right now. Send one to the right top side, one maybe to center left, something like that, to spot for those drops. You don't want to have those observers on top of your Colossi. Blysk is, I think, once again in a very good position, but obviously this one is far from over.
These aren't one of mine either. It's so weird. The drop is going to surprisingly pull the entire army out of position, though, or close to it. Double drop to the right side. Drop still waiting to go into the main. Don't forget about that. Or join up with the third.
Do we have Stalkers here to skill those Metavacs? That would be massive.
Not a lot of them.
The answer is no. One Marauder does die. It's going to run into it. Need more Stalkers, my friend. Maybe a recall here? Oh, no, that's not a good blink. The rest of the army wasn't really here yet. Those Marauders are going to absolutely rip those Stalkers apart. A couple of bio units do go down. The Observer's still here. If Blysk can split up those Observers, he's going to make his life so much easier.
Yeah, that was a nice focus fire on that one injured. Full medevac as well, most of the units, and they're even going to catch this one too. This one may just survive, especially if it deposits its units. It absolutely does.
Blysk is in a sick position.
Yeah.
Sure you push it. You just shove with the Colossus.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One Archon to buffer, or 2 Archons even. Yeah, Vindicta knows he's going to need to somehow survive, so he's going to throw up a couple of bunkers. Don't really like the disruptor here. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but man, build 7 pylons, please.
Yeah, he's going to be, even he is supply blocked
Guys,
right now.
we might have a 2-0 lead here to our Singaporean Protoss.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But
I think so.
The fact that he's supply blocked actually hurts him a little bit. Now he's getting harassed once again. Liberator being annoying. At least he can wipe in a couple of units. He needs more pylons. Like, if he's supply blocked like this, he needs to build like 5 pylons at once. He's going to try to avoid those bunkers. The bunkers have finished up, though. This could also be a troll scenario. Blysk's army is still a lot stronger. But obviously, Vindicta was really expecting this push to come. I think 2-3 Archons. I don't understand, like, Storm and Disruptors at the same time when you're already ahead. Like, it's just not necessary.
Well, what do you do when the army goes over here? The bunker's not going to be helpful. The tanks were repositioned.
Oh, well, he's slightly sandwiched by tanks, but at least these tanks are going to be very exposed. Immortal starting to work on the bunkers. I think this Protoss army is just a little bit too strong. I would love to see him send 3 or 4 Zealots into the natural. I think that would be the play. But the DPS of this Protoss army is just a little bit too sick right now. Vindicta is going to be forced to evacuate all those SCVs. But Blysk once more. He's F2ing like a madman. He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care about that drop. I want to kill you. And the 2 tanks is pretty much the last thing that Vindicta has. GG Blysk with the sick builds, man. Wow. This kid is playing good.
I've played against him a few times, and sometimes it's really hard to read what he does because he does have like a literal book of tricks.
Yeah.
And he has these like builds that open up and they look similar, but they have alternate pathways. And I think that's more a testament to our kind of players. Like, they don't have the super refined mechanics, but they have the ability to adjust and they have the flexibility, and it makes them scary.
I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed because I knew that Blysk was good. I've casted quite a few of his matches in Nation Wars, and I've seen him play once in a blue moon, obviously not super often. I always thought he's like a good Protoss, but a bit one-dimensional, a bit attack, and like if people don't know, it works. And then like the more they play against him, the more they should realize what they're dealing with. But he's showing us a different side here. I'm not going to say that this is all full-out macro, but he's macroing himself in a really good position, and he's like, here we go, I pretty much just won, mate. So, well done. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, he's absolutely keeping Vindicta on his toes. I mean, just the fact that Vindicta used, like, I want to say in total 5 scans in that game, and I don't think any of them for an observer. They were all actually scouting. Already is like, you just don't really see that. Like, usually the Terran kind of figures things out either by dropping or pushing or one scan because something was missed. The Reaper didn't happen or something like that. So that was already just a sign to me that he just was like, maybe not like freaked out, maybe that's a little too severe, but he definitely was just like, what exactly is happening here? My build isn't what I want it to be against, okay, now it's that? Oh, geez, all right. And he's kind of making do with maybe just a mindset that probably wasn't like really set up because he is being tripped out just a little bit. It's good stuff, and it is surprising, not just because we know Vindicta a little bit more, but because Blysk did admit that he's most worried about PvT.
Yeah.
And I think Vindicta was like, no problem, TVP, right? That was his response to it.
No, this is the first time that Vindicta's actually in trouble. Like, I know he's been joking, but I got destroyed by Chase, but yeah, okay, he got all in one game, he got tricked, but he was never in trouble in the series. Earlier today, in the first round of the quarterfinals, we did see him trip up in game 1 against Crimson, but he tried to proxy, it didn't work out. These are things that you know you're going to face once in a while in the tournament. As long as you keep it together, it's all good. Right now, those were 2 pretty legit games. You can't really say it all went wrong on one moment. No, Blysk is just making the correct calls and the right decisions on multiple moments. And what is happening? Okay, they're both just scouting with workers. I was confused.
Both just scouting. The bottom left, it is Blysk. They're gonna
Representing Singapore.
kiss. Mwah.
So sick.
Yeah, in the top right, representing the USA, it is Vindicta. I guess I should be cheering for him, huh?
I don't know. Should you?
I mean, like,
I mean, he's Terran,
Or are you
he's from
starting to become a bit of a
America.
fan of our homeboy?
I mean, I do like Australia. Singapore seems like a really cool place to go. I'd go to a home straight cup in Singapore.
yeah, we were talking. Like, Blysk was actually talking to us. He's like, man, I'd love to organize something cool, and you know, for my local scene as well. And he's like, it would be so cool if like StarCraft players from around the world could attend. He's like, I'm really gonna try to make it happen. I was like, mate, if you can get anything going in Singapore, I was like, I'll be there. Okay, like it's something that I've one of those other countries. Like, I wouldn't say it's like on the top of my list. Like Australia, really was like in the top 4 places that I really wanted to go once in my life. But Singapore is one of those countries that it looks awesome. You know, I like watching Formula 1. I see the night race there. I was like, damn, that looks like an awesome country.
Beautiful.
I'd love to visit
there
once.
too. Plus, it's like one of the most big. It's like an international hub for flights. So when I always thought about Singapore, it was kind of like if you wanted to build like an esports ecosystem, why wouldn't you like centralize it there? Everyone goes through Singapore to go somewhere generally.
The only thing I can say is
never done that.
servers.
Yeah.
Or fair point.
As long as they can get local servers, I guess that's okay. There is a Singaporean server on NA. Played a couple games on it. Wasn't
Yeah,
easy.
I've seen it in the drop-down list. That's what I'll say. Yeah, I thought maybe the probe was set up for something, but it was just trying to make sure he didn't die to the Reaper, which was absolutely looking for it. He first looked back here, because that's what happened in the last game. He was trying to fix all the mistakes of his previous games, but yeah, as you were saying, it wasn't just like necessarily 1 or 2 things. It was just solid play from Blysk, and then like a slightly less solid play from Vindicta.
Triple CC for Vindicta.
Yeah, okay, he's really mixing things up. I mean, feels like it's been a while since I've seen a third CC this fast against Protoss.
Yep.
Like,
I don't
a year?
hate, like, a couple Europeans do it once in a while.
Sure.
Where they just, like, they're like, okay, we're now playing as Roddy and he's going to make a bunch of Stalkers and Zealots, and then they stop building probes, and I'll just sit here on 3CC and build a much bigger Bioball. If that is how this game plays out, oh, I tried to trap the Reaper there, that would have been a sick catch. It can work, but it's kind of an odd play. I am totally with you. It's not something we see super often. Oh no.
Whoops.
The Reaper.
The Stalker, actually. The Reaper is going to go down?
Yeah, it is. Well, its time was
That
pretty
Reaper
much
is really supposed to go down.
What? Wait,
Blysk?
what? What? Where'd the stalker
Forgot
go?
about it.
Ah! Well, it's gonna get the display console in like
No, but
60
I mean, like,
seconds
if
here.
a full HP Reaper shows up and all your units are out of position, another probe is
Pulls
being
the boys.
pulled.
Vindicta stopped paying attention to it. Understandably so.
What is happening outside of that natural Vindicta?
He's trying to catch a hallucination because he saw a sentry. Does 3 Marines really kill it fast enough?
No.
I
I didn't think so. But
I
then he had
thought
2 up here. I don't
think
know.
maybe if Stott is stepping, I think it's okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Maybe like a backup Marine in the main base.
Oh, that's cool. Didn't work out, but a cool attempt.
Didn't see the CC though.
That's exactly why he did it. He wanted to try and hide the CC, but he puts it in a really nice spot.
Yeah, so this is one of those moments where if you're Blysk, you scout this, you should either figure out what's happening or you get scared. You're like, is super fast stim or something? Like, oh, what is this? Is it 3 racks opening? But
Yeah,
why?
wait.
But if it is a
Starport?
3 racks,
Yeah.
you should have way more. Like, you should have way more.
Absolutely. 3 racks would already have a lot more pumped out.
Yeah, there's like 18 supply of bios
Yeah,
standing there.
Yeah.
I've died against it a lot.
No starport. The question always is, like, because this is kind of a rare build, do you just, like, you know, like Future was saying, like, he was thinking of all those charge, like, the all lanes except for charge, and that's what he got hit with. It's like one of those things where Blysk would be like, okay, is he even paying attention to what he scouted? Did he realize that was a starport or barracks on a starport? I don't know. He's chronoing on an Immortal, which seems like an awful waste of a chrono already.
Yep. No, I don't think he's figuring it out. I think he's
Yeah.
thinks he's getting 3 racks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would also already build that Nexus. The first
Yeah.
thing, like if I play against Triple CC, I will always build that Nexus, okay? I don't care how many units I have. I don't care if I'm worried about the random bio move out. You need 3 Nexi as quickly as possible against a Triple CC opening. I don't think he figured it out. Hey, he's getting attacked, by the way, this game. That's kind of interesting, right? +1 attack.
I guess now the only way to kind of figure out what's going on is to be a bit more aggressive on the map. Kind of like show the Stalkers, go, what are you actually doing? Like, show me what you have. And he's going to come up here and see the 3rd base soon and be like, ah.
Yeah. Seeing the SCVs transfer.
As a Protoss, it's a horrible feeling when you're warping your 3rd Nexus and that orbital's already sitting there. You're like, okay, could have done that a little bit better, but let's just make the best of this game for now.
You hate to see it.
Look at the worker count, 50 against 47, but triple orbital. Ooh.
Even, right?
No, that income graph
It
will
better,
not be
yeah.
even, mate.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
Starting to get up
it's
there.
gonna go higher. I think it's gonna go like +500 or something.
Yeah, maybe from +6. Well, we're going to check it by like 30 seconds.
Cool. Let's do the
Stalkers.
guessing game.
Yeah.
550.
Okay, all right. Stalkers are going to try and pick off anything they can, but it's really quite limited. This observer is not being scouted / scanned, so that's actually pretty nicely placed. The drop would be drop, I guess. Might just get picked off. Nah, I just go for medevac.
Should have killed the medevac.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, good flank by Vindicta. Well done, matey. That's a couple of Marauders in range of those Stalkers. That's a good move.
Yeah.
Take a look at the income graph.
Let's do it.
600. 750. Do I hear 8?
Maybe.
Wow. Actually,
Nah,
Vindicta's
goes
up
back.
in workers now. He's up 6 workers.
Oh, that's because of this guy. This would have been 7. This would have been 8. Come on, dude.
He
Alright.
fixed it. Wow. That's unreal. Blysk is gonna attack, guys. It's weird, but he's gonna attack.
Do you reckon this is the player? Or is it kind of like I
Wait,
need to
what?
try and find an engagement that allows me to trade out your
I-
advantage?
Oh.
He's protecting against turrets and stuff. Sorry, say again, mate.
Do you think this is a good thing to do to try and go out and be like an attack? Is the idea to kind of trade out some of the advantage?
Yes,
and
I
find
think
the
he's
fight?
just worried that he's like, okay, if I'm just going to sit back forever, I think that Vindicta will get too far ahead because his economy is so much better. So let's hope to get lucky. Well, that's a good start of getting lucky, right? Sniping a Liberator.
Wait, I don't know if I saw that. I thought it was going to.
This is
but
about to get weird. He can't recall. No energy for recall here. He's going to lose his Nexus. Blysk got to go for it. Yeah, at this point, you got to close your eyes and be like, okay, I'm going to lose the Nexus. Yeah, you can think about it, but you got to go. No, you got to go.
Yeah, and I mean, there's only supply depots, not bunkers coming down. Most of the army is here, but it's building very, very quickly back for Vindicta. Pylon's going to take out a lot of production, and this attack is underway. No units at the third. Wait, where are the units? He's going all to the main.
I don't hate it, actually.
Yeah,
I think
he's
that's
prepared
a
to lose it.
very smart call by Vindicta. Because the one way to lose this game is to lose 30 supply for nothing, then lose 20 supply, and then lose the remaining units. I think this is a brilliant call. Who cares if you lose that Orbiter? You've killed 2 bases. You're going to kill all the probes. You're going to empower all the gateways. Very, very mature decision here by Vindicta.
Yeah. His question is, can the army hold up? And I think that it can. It got quite big, quite fast. Even some Vikings out here. Liberator not going to be pounced on anytime soon. It's a lot of splash damage with the Archons included here. Oh, he actually does try and get up there.
He blinks on the high ground into Widow Mines and tanks. GG. Look at Vindicta smiling. He's like, all right, that worked out well. GG gets called. Score is 2-1 right now in favor of the Singaporean Protoss. I think this was just a rough game. He didn't figure it out. Like he scouted with the hallucinated Phoenix. He did not see what he needed to see. Like you said, it's like that's a weird run on the Immortal. He's worried. He's worried about a random bio move out. He's like, am I getting 3 rags? Is he hitting me with stim?
Well, even with the scouting information he's seen, as a Protoss, I'd be like, is it a proxy Stargate? Like, what is he hiding from me that I haven't seen from him?
Yeah, I think the only thing, like it's hard to always figure it out, and you won't always get it right, but if you were actually getting 3 wrecks, there's supposed to be a lot of units there.
Yeah.
And like the timings of like the factory being in the air and stuff there as well, like it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So you should at that point maybe know that something is missing. I'd probably like check for a hidden base. There's some weirdos on the European ladder, man. They open up with like a base in the corner of the map, and I'm like, what is happening? Why are they not moving out? And then they've got 22 SCVs in the left top side of World of Sleepers. And I was like, okay, this is really weird.
Yeah. I think it is just one of those builds that you're not really thinking of. You know, you might be like a little like, what? Okay, it can only be this thing. I must have just missed the other army. That's probably what he thought. Like maybe it's hidden in the natural. And instead it was a 3rd CC tucked in the corner, which you also don't really bother scouting for all the way back there because it's not a popular build. There's also a chance that it gets scouted pretty easily. You know, for instance, if you do go Stargate and they stick with their plan for 3rd CC, that should be scouted, right?
I think a very quick 2 Colossus push is actually pretty damn good against this stuff, right? Because as a Terran, you can never have Vikings there. Like the only way that you can also not mine of 3 bases. You will be forced to stay on 2 bases. I think then the only thing as a Terran player you can do is like have 3 bunkers in a line and kind of repair them until you get a couple Vikings out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the barracks production timing, which I don't quite know. There's so many things happening right now. What?
I did not sign up for this.
We got things being
This was
changed
not
here?
part of the contract. Okay. No, that's okay.
Did you read the fine print?
I did not actually. Was it upside down?
I mean, what fine print?
It was upside down at the bottom, very tiny. I was like, no! I got tricked by the Australians.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question, Renamux.
What's that?
Sorry, I know you want to talk about StarCraft.
No, I know I don't.
But
It's fine.
how long does it take for me to get to Tasmania from here?
By boat or swim?
Maybe both. I mean, I am in pretty good
Or have you
shape.
got a yacht?
What?
Or have you got a yacht?
In Monaco and Abu Dhabi, but not over here.
Easy peasy. By plane, I think it's about an hour and a half.
By plane?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they have airports.
Oh,
They have
wait, I
two
was thinking of
heads and
taking like a
airports.
little ferry or something. I was like, this is
No,
gonna
no,
be.
no, no. It's a bit more of a distance.
Oh,
than
really?
that. Yeah. The globe is a very interesting thing. You
All
look
right.
at it from that perspective, and it's like not actually concurrent at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to get a plane to get there.
Okay. Do you have any helicopters standing around?
A helicopter wouldn't make it.
What?
It
Yeah,
wouldn't
you would
make
legit need a plane.
I mean, there are helicopters that would make it. Like the helicopter from like Black Hawk Down, you know?
Yeah, something a little bit more serious.
Like a couple million
Come
advanced
bungee
U.S.
in.
military helicopters. You're gonna tell me what are those called again? Like they have a name, no?
Do they? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a special name for those sick helicopters. Apache helicopter.
Oh, you're
Apache
right.
heli-
Yeah, I
Apache
didn't.
attack
I didn't think they were
Apache
known.
attack helicopter.
I didn't think they were known for their time in the air,
Or the
though.
Cobra. That's a very
I
interesting
think
one.
there are some sick helicopters out there.
He's,
that would
he's gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Well, he'll get it. We'll introduce the players real quick in the bottom right as the Terran. It's Vindicta.
Finally starting to respect our Singaporean Protoss. You can see ever since that first series, it's been bunker after bunker in the natural now.
Yeah, right. And
my
the top left, it is Blysk.
All right, guys, I'm sold. AH-64 Apache. Like, look at this beast. Mate, will bring me to Tasmania in no time, okay?
Bring the freedom too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All you boys down in Tasmania got oil?
Yeah,
Like
they did, man.
They're greeted by like koalas and kangaroos. They're like, what's this thing doing in the sky? It's like, we don't need freedom, man. Like, we're running around all day. We're good.
Nah, Tasmania's got like these little like rat things that are like a little bit bigger, like the size of a cat that would like just attack you.
Oh, that's
Rat
great.
thing's the size of a cat.
Yeah.
Don't have a name? know
The
what it is?
Tasmanian devil.
Oh, okay. Why don't you just say that?
Do you guys actually call them that?
Yeah, that's what they call
what they're
it.
called.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey,
you know
you've
the
never-
cartoon, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
a cartoon.
yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
it's based from.
Do they look like that?
Yes, they stand on 2 legs.
Yeah, they're a bit
No.
wild.
I mean, that's possible. There's animals that stand on 2 legs.
Like kangaroos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a little bit wild, but they got that name, I believe, because of the noise they make over nighttime, and when they're mating, they just like go like rabid.
I mean, they don't
It's
have a whirlwind
disgusting.
ability.
I'm familiar with that.
Okay.
I thought
He
they
said he
just did a
slays.
whirlwind, man.
Well,
You,
used to
uh,
slay. What happened?
So you guys don't have foxes.
Not in the traditional sense, no.
Okay. Do you foxes
But
in
we do have
Netherlands?
foxes at like
Like a regular
farmers'
fox?
cabins
Yeah, the
and
regular
stuff.
fox.
I think we might. Have some fox.
Oh, they're
There's,
not.
there's
not
definitely
Australia.
dingoes. Dingoes is kind of like
Oh
the
yeah,
version of the fox.
dingoes. Oh my god, can I see a dingo?
Do you guys have wolves?
No, we don't have wolves.
Okay.
Wolves don't eat babies, Rotterdam.
No,
dingoes
dingoes
eat
do.
babies. I forgot about that.
my baby.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, I was just like, cause like the fox in the middle of the night, the scream is it's like a woman dying.
Oh,
So it's really pleasant. Awesome.
That's very dark.
It is. Anyways, we had another 2-gas opener with the 7X core before.
Reaper is like, what the hell is happening over here?
Yeah.
it's honestly the worst.
This is the first build, right?
Yeah,
to
we're
a T,
basically
right?
seeing, game 1 build. But so I wonder if he's going to make a different adaptation.
Well, he should
Oh, he's already done
Yeah,
the
there you go, an Oracle. Run to
Blysk
the
has builds for days, by the way.
I like this because it applies a different element of pressure. So with the Phoenix, you can kind of like be aggressive, and if you've got have like tempo advantage on the map, you can go out. But with the Oracle, you're forced home.
Yep. I think the difference between, like, I don't know if he's gonna go for like the couple of depths, triple Oracle opening over here, or double Oracle, and then just go ham into the natural. But the big difference between Phoenix, can I get up there? What? The big difference between Phoenixes and Oracles is that Phoenixes can get you ahead, but Oracles can also straight up win you games. But then again, I think it's also much more likely that it can turn into an absolute disaster for Oracles. Like if one of them flies into a Widowmine, for instance, right, the entire push becomes useless. He's going to play it normal, by the way. It's just one Oracle, and now he's going to follow it up with Phoenixes. So Blysk is just, once again, showing us a different part of himself. Now, because of this opening, he doesn't really have the probe count that you would love to have as a Protoss player. So it would be nice if that Oracle can get something done, but that's going to get difficult against his Cyclone.
Yeah, he did build him at a back. Yeah, he did. So he doesn't have Winnow Mines. He spent all that time with the Cyclone building. Instead of going for a
Surely
Viking to
they've
help
seen each
out.
other.
Did the Oracle see that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it must have. The Phoenix is
Well,
found.
now it does. That's for sure.
I like this. This kind of reminds me how Mana plays a little bit. So like the first Oracle is just to kind of command and like reveal stuff and see what's coming across the map. As opposed to like just going to pure Phoenix and maybe either diving in and just lifting SCVs or just trying to shut down any kind of early drops.
I'm not sure you should really do this now that it's been scouted so much in advance. Like if they're going to skip a couple warp hits or something, or get a robo and then units, or something along those lines, I think they can do a lot. But I think if they know it's coming to build Phoenix, move units, then you're the one that's going to die. which might just be happening here.
This could be an interesting game.
Well, yeah, we'll see. He's going to get the Oracle, but everything's going to die in return, so...
Yeah, this is really good for Blysk.
I think if you get 3... This is 3 Phoenixes going down or 2?
Yeah, actually, that wasn't so bad. I was surprised how many Phoenix went down.
Yeah, if it was 3 Phoenix and an Oracle, I think I'm actually okay with this for Vindicta. Because those Protoss air units are so expensive, at this point they really start falling off. I look at the remaining bits of Blysk's army. It's like, what is that? A couple of slow gateway units that can't really achieve anything at all. Can you do Shift L real quick? Was it 2 or 3 Phoenix? 2. Oh, okay, I think then it's a trade. I think if it was 3 Phoenix, I would have been like, whoa, that was good for Vindicta. But 2 Phoenix and an Oracle against all that, I'd say it's a trade.
Yeah, pretty close in resources lost.
He's playing pretty greedy behind this too, with a 3rd command center, double eBay. So both of them are going to have a very interesting mid game.
Right there.
And I think that actually makes it nice for Vindicta, right? Because he had that pretty quick 30C in his main base. This wasn't really one of those pushes that, like, oh, it really needs to do damage. It needs to even up things. No, if anything, it just needed to be even. Because right now he's only down 5 workers, but he's going to be able to flow that command center over. Economically, he's going to be in a perfectly fine spot. And this game, it's not like there's already a Colossus on the way, right? Or tech is already done. So Blysk is going to need to make some plays eventually down the line. Maybe with the War Prism in the main base.
I like this because the idea is a game. He does a lot of these backstabs. So he'll float it over into the corner, warp in 4 zealots, lift it up, and then he'll do something to kind of control map control, either with this adept here, or maybe he'll go further towards the natural. And the idea is of like, because I see in the 3rd command center. I suppose the idea is like when he moves out, backstab, buy more time because he's obviously late with his tech.
But if Vindicta has been paying attention and is thinking about what are the possibilities, there's no need for him to move out. Because if you open up with a couple of gateway units, you also have a Twilight. But first of all, it all started with a Stargate and 4 Stargate units. It's very unlikely that you need to hit like an anti-Colossus timing or something.
Whoa.
Vindicta just needs to chill. And I think
Blysk
he understand that.
That seems. I thought he was going to do a charge attack. He is notably not getting a forge, so I expected an attack. I didn't think it was going to be this fast, though. The force was going to have to work here to make the zealots worthwhile, but it is right before Vindicta's really powering with the economy he now has. Combat shield also isn't dumb. This is actually quite good.
Yep. Oh, he blinks it to a Widowmine. No, somehow that Widowmine just shot at the zealot. This is really good, because obviously Guardian Shield before +1 attack kicks in is very useful as well. That mine shot was big in the middle of the pack, but actually really like it. Jazz, I'm totally with you. I was like, okay, this is so weird. You've got charge on the way, you've got Colossus on the way. Just don't overstay your welcome, though, if you're Blysk, right? Like, yeah, this was good, but you didn't kill that much. Eventually, your army there is not going to be good enough. Okay, now maybe he's waiting for charge to be done. He's going for the main base. I love the previous highlight, guys, of that fight, but can we take a look at the main base instead? Because this is about to get really feisty. Vindicta is doing what I think he shouldn't have done, and that is a triple drop. Now, oh, this is gonna get wild, guys. This could very well be it for Blysk, man. Like, there's nothing here for Vindicta. There's literally nothing. You can blink forward, mate. There's absolutely nothing.
He's gonna see that soon.
He's gonna bait the Widowmine shot. This is gonna get wild because it's gonna be base trade scenario. 3 Medivacs on the other side of the map are gonna kill a lot. But that War Prism in the main base, all these Stalkers over here. Oh my goodness, guys, this is gonna get so crazy.
Yeah, full unload on the main base, only 1 pylon powering. Well, only 1 gateway, it's still not so bad. I mean, he's not going to be able to save much in his main base. He's going to try. Disruptor's even on the way. But there's already so much chaos in the main base. His production's going to be camped by these units.
Oh, a lot of SCVs going down to that Widowmine. Look at the amount of Stalkers, and they're all still full on HP as well. Blysk just needs to get like 10 Zealots at home, start trading a little bit. I mean, he's always going to win this fight. Vindicta's going to be forced to abandon his main base. What's happening in the main base? I think this is the most important fight right now. There's a Disruptor out, by the way.
Yeah, that's really
I think at this point, if I'm Blysk, I'm okay with recalling.
Yeah, I think he recall right now.
Yeah.
Which he cannot do in the main, but he can do the natural.
Okay, fire! Oh, he recalled already.
Yeah, you
in zealots. Okay, supply blocked. Oh no, this is bad. But he's gonna lose a lot of units. As long as he's trading, it's already fine. Look at the supply of Vindicta. Vindicta needs to pretty much win the game here, and that's just not gonna happen. The Stalker count is a little too high. The Singaporean Protoss with Blysk, 1,800 minerals in the bank. Mate, build some freaking pylons and then you win.
Yeah, seriously. The only thing that's going to happen here is that if the Stalkers, like, they're not upgraded and they're against 1-1 units, the Stalkers are not going to handle this very well. The charge on still on the other side of the map. The Stalkers are all going to die. This might not be the end of the game as Vindicta lifts both of his orbital commands. He's not taking out the economy, but because of the supply block, it doesn't really matter.
Can he warp in anything? How many gates are unpowered? Are all of them unpowered?
They might all be unpowered anyways, not to mention the supply block.
There's only like 2 Marauders left. Can 2 Marauders really win the game? I mean,
I don't think so.
There's a couple of extra buying. Oh, more Stalkers show up on the left side. The Phoenix shows up as well. Blysk gets it done. Wow, Blysk gets it done.
Did someone have too much to drink last night?
The 3-1 victory over Vindicta. He moves into the upper bracket finals here of Oscar FGG. For Vindicta, it's obviously not over yet. Vindicta will fall to the lower bracket, but he still has a chance to fight his way back to the grand finals of this tournament. We are going to be joined by our Singaporean Protoss hero. There aren't too many Protosses left. He's one of the few. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's quite the upset.